Okay, picture this. You're hired to fix a business, right? But you have to spend the first month and a ton of the client's money just trying to figure out what's actually broken. Well, today we're diving into a whole new approach that promises to give you that diagnosis, not in a month, but on day one. And let's start right here, because this really gets to the heart of it. This quote from James, a fractional COO, just nails the dilemma that so many consultants and leaders face. You need to do that deep discovery, but the client wants results, like yesterday. That tension, that's what's driving this whole shift we're talking about. So, this brings us to what we can call the discovery dilemma. It's that constant tug of war between needing to really understand a business from the inside out and the hard fact that clients, well, they just don't want to pay for all that time. So, why is everyone looking for a change? Well, the old way of doing things is just fundamentally broken. I'm talking about weeks of workshops, endless interviews. It's slow, it's expensive, and honestly, it can be pretty skewed by whoever has the loudest opinion in the room. It just creates all this friction before the real work even gets started. And believe me, that inefficiency isn't just some theory. As David, a systems consultant, points out here, this is a pain that everyone feels. Teams burn countless hours, a lot of them unbillable, just trying to map out the current state of things. It's a massive resource drain, and frankly, a super frustrating way to kick off any project. All of that manual work, it leads to some pretty nagging questions for anyone in charge. And the first one is a biggie. After all that effort, are we even sure we're solving the right problem? You know? Or are we just putting a Band-Aid on a symptom instead of fixing the root cause? And then you've got the tech. How much money is just quietly leaking out of the business from a bloated tech stack? I mean, think about it. You've got redundant tools, subscriptions for people who left the company months ago, crazy expensive software that nobody's even using properly. It's this giant invisible hole in the budget. And, of course, you can't ignore the AI hype. It is everywhere. There's a new game-changing tool launching every single week. So how in the world do you cut through all that noise? How do you figure out what's actually going to deliver real value versus what's just the latest shiny object? Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. So now, let's flip the script and look at the solution. This idea of automated discovery, an approach that's designed to bring you clarity in minutes, not months. So how does this all work? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. You start by plugging in some basic info, what software the company uses, which teams are involved, and from there, the system just gets to work. It cross-references all that data against a huge library of common business processes and workflows, and it automatically starts mapping out how work actually gets done, flagging all the gaps and inefficiencies along the way. What you get is kind of like having X-ray vision for the entire business. Seriously, instead of guessing, the system instantly scans and highlights the exact processes that are bleeding the most time and money. It gives you this immediate, data-backed heat map of where to focus your attention right from day one. So, that all sounds great in theory, right? But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's get into the actual, measurable impact. First off, the financial impact is immediate. On average, we're seeing these automated scans uncover over $12,000 in potential savings. And get this, that's per month. This isn't just some abstract number. It is real, tangible waste that can be eliminated fast. And here's how those savings happen so quickly. For a consultant, this just completely changes the game. Instead of spending weeks trying to figure things out, you can walk in on day one, point to a crystal clear heat map of the problems, and start delivering those quick wins that prove your value right away. And the speed? It's honestly kind of mind-blowing. We're talking about auditing an entire tech stack, averaging nearly 50 different applications, and getting it done in less than 10 minutes. Think about that. A job that used to take a team days is now done in the time it takes to grab a cup of coffee. And that incredible speed translates directly into focus. Like this consultant says, it's not just about the hours you save doing the audit. It's about the clarity you get. You instantly know what to focus on. And just as important, you know what noise you can ignore. So the really crucial thing to understand here is that this isn't about just spitting out another report. It's about turning all that data into clear, actionable, evidence-backed recommendations that go right after the biggest pains in the business. But this is way more than just a faster tool. It really represents a fundamental shift in how we think about business transformation altogether. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It's about moving away from that old world of complexity, hype, and month-long projects where everyone is dependent on a consultant. The new way is all about clarity, speed, data-driven truth, and ultimately empowering the smart people who are already working inside the company. And that gets to the absolute core belief behind this whole idea. This is not about some AI coming in to take away jobs or replace human experts. Not at all. It's about augmenting that expertise, giving the smart, capable people in the business tools that make them even more amazing at what they do. So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What becomes possible when we stop looking at technology as a replacement for people and we start building it to give them superpowers instead? The goal here isn't just automation, it's about empowerment. And that simple change in perspective, well, that could be the thing that drives the entire next wave of business transformation.